You know,
Read
Shant,
you guys.
I could swear it was more than just one book that you forgot to tell me you were reading. I feel like by the end of this year, it'll probably be if I were if I were to put a number on it. What would you say? How many books?
Um, Three.
Two, one. It's the Shant and Ari podcast, you guys. Episode number 73. Shant, why do you fucking keep not telling me about the books you're reading, big guy?
Yeah, I'm on. I finished Think and Grow Rich last month. This month, I am reading The Millionaire Next Door. Really enjoying this book. I've read it like 10 years ago. I'm reading it again, and I'm like, oh shit! Like I didn't catch any of the stuff 10 years ago, so it's good to get back to it. So today, we're going to talk about some stuff about success, blah blah blah, some fun stuff. But before we do, and before we get into our topic of, also I want to touch on Jeff Bezos and Amazon. Last week's episode was really good, man. Your buddy Demetrius came on, Dimmy. He just, it's crazy, man. Like COVID in the restaurant business, in nightclub business, and like just like, oh, I'm gonna just get into real estate, and I think he's gonna crush it. So that's cool. I think you guys should go check that one out. Let us know what you think. And for all you guys who do listen, we know we do appreciate it. I would really hope if you guys could, like send us some comments, send us some messages, man. Be like, hey, we like this, we don't like that. Give us some feedback. I think that would be super cool. Let us know if there's some topics you'd want us to hit. I think that'd be pretty fun. Maybe if you're cool enough, we'll get you on the show.
Oh yeah, that would definitely be a possibility, just depending on how cool you are exactly on a level of 1 to Shant.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. But hey, before we hit our topic, dude, it's Tom Brady, man. What's up? Your boy Tom Brady did it again.
Hey, you know what? Tom Brady is an angel. I don't even like football. I only know one player, and that's Tom Brady.
So you're from Boston, okay?
And I am. I am.
I'm interested to know. You're a Patriots guy. I know you don't care about sports much, but are you happy he won? He left and won. Are you like, I don't care, we won so many? Are you like, fuck him, he sucks because he left us? Like, what's your, like, where are you at, man? Where are your friends at? Like what's the temperature in Boston besides freezing?
Tom Brady is like the ex-girlfriend that you part ways with on good terms. You wish them well, and
Okay.
you hope for their absolute best and like most positive, etc. But for the well-being of our team, he's only getting older. His pussy's only getting looser, if you know what I mean.
Are all your friends on the same boat? Like, is that what like people around Boston, are they all cool with like, all right, like he won us,
it's fine,
25 titles, we're fine?
We had more than enough. We banged him more times than he could possibly take. It's like,
did you watch the Super Bowl?
No.
You didn't watch it?
No. Are you upset that I didn't? Do you wish that I was also into sports?
That's actually fun. Did you know there was a guy who ran onto the field?
Yeah. Did you hear about the bet? Was there a bet that was made?
Yeah. So the guy, he bet $50,000. I'm sure he didn't do it personally. I'm sure one of his friends did. Like some crazy odds, and he ended up winning like $400,000 that there would be a person to run onto the field.
Are you?
And he's the one who ran onto the field.
That has to be illegal, bro. You can't.
It's $1,000 fine.
No.
It's $1,000.
I'm talking about the bet. In the betting world, you can't be the person to bet and to perform the action. Like that has to be a betting, like law. Like you can't do that kind of shit. That's fucked.
Yeah. I mean, I doubt he did it. I'm sure one of his friends or family members did to be safe. I heard he's tried to do this for the past 5 years and has not been able to get onto the field.
He hasn't been banned yet from entering stadiums or anything like that. Like, how's that? How does he keep getting in? The fuck? That's awesome.
It's like, Johnny, it's you again. Come on, man. Just get out of here. Like,
you got to cut the
don't.
shit. Oh, catch him. Yeah, I can imagine.
So before we get into success, why don't we talk about real quick, kind of a successful guy, kind of a little bit.
All right.
Jeff Bezos. He stepped down from CEO of Amazon. The guy, I don't know if you guys have heard of Jeff Bezos. Have you heard of him, Adi?
Jeff Bezos. Sounds familiar. Is he the former president of Mexico? Jeff Bezos.
He is the founder of Amazon. I think he's the second richest man right now.
Fucking must, man. It's crazy.
He is stepping down. What do you think he's going to do next, man? Like, because he's a fairly young guy. He's not an old guy. Do you think he's like, I think this will tie in good with our topic. Like, he hit his success. Do you think he's just going to chill out, hang out? Do you think he's going to get into some other stuff? Like, what do you think is going to happen, man?
I don't think that he's going to do anything. I think that he's probably working on some sort of subdivision of Amazon or some, parent company of Amazon. I think it's just all Amazon related. I think it's probably just some sort of, smoke and mirrors, some sort of game he's trying to play with public image and not being directly in control of his company anymore, like some Warren Buffett type shit that makes him look more caring about his company because he's not the culprit. It's a CEO that's in charge. I just feel like it's just a public image thing. I think that he just wanted to back away from his own company, but still be very much controlling his company.
Do you think, yeah. Huh?
Those are just my thoughts. I'm not saying that that's what it is. It's just that's what I would be assuming is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I mean, the guy's worth $190-something billion, like, it's not like he's just gonna, it's not about the money, right? Like he's had $100 billion a couple of years ago. So it's not like I think, man, he may get into like some Bill Gates shit where he's trying to like save the world. Maybe he'll start something new. 'Cause what else can you do like bigger than Amazon?
What else can you do bigger than Amazon?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you this much. You can't do anything bigger than Amazon if you're just doing Amazon.
Yeah.
So it maybe what I'm trying to say is maybe it clears up his schedule to sort of do what Bill Gates does, which is retreat and really just think about what he wants to do. And actually, wow, that ties in perfectly with sort of what I had on my mind, what I was texting you about earlier, talking about sort of where you are now versus where you are last year. Dad, how did that come to your mind like that? That's fucking amazing.
I'm really good at this.
You're really good at this whole podcasting thing. And I wanted to tell you that is just spot on. What I wanted to talk about today, Shant, was relating your success or progress for this year or this very moment versus the previous, and judging your success based on where you wanted to be, where you actually ended up. Are you a failure because you didn't get to where you need to be yet? And how slow is slow progress? Let's dissect this shit a little bit. Let's talk about journaling and what that really does for you in terms of knowing exactly how successful you are today.
Yeah.
Tell me, according to your journal, Shant, how successful you really are versus how successful you thought you'd be.
So success is kind of like, and for everyone kind of like sitting there thinking like, oh, we're not, successful is relative. Okay. It's all relative. It's not, for me at least, like, yes, Jeff Bezos is very, very, he's probably one of the second most successful person financially in the world, right? For me, success is doing what I wanted to do this year and being like, hey, because I kind of go like smaller targets, right? I haven't been going big yet. Like in 15, 20 years, this is what I want to be. Like, I don't know that yet, man. Like I'm hitting small targets and I'm like, this year, for it to be a successful year, I need to hit X, Y, and Z, right? And if I don't hit X, Y, and Z, I'm not going to say it's a failure. Well, yes, it depends. It depends what happened. So like last year, I didn't hit a couple of goals, right? But I didn't see it as a failure because of some circumstances came up, things happened. And not that it's an excuse, but it was like, okay, these things got in the way. Now, what can I do this year to hit those actual numbers to be a successful year? So I think you have to first define like what is success to you. Obviously, there's people who make more money than I do, a lot more money. They have bigger businesses. They sell more real estate than I do. And yes, they could be technically considered more successful. But to me, I have to look at my situation. Okay. I have to look at where I'm coming from. I can't compare myself to another person, another real estate agent, because everyone started at different levels, man. Like, this is the thing. Perfect example. Demetrius, right? He's getting to real estate, but he has a big circle. So he may find success a lot faster in real estate than I did because I came here without knowing someone. Secondly, I know agents who moved here who knew nobody and they're actually sell 10 times more than I do. And you'd be like, well, they don't know anyone. They sold more. But they had a different, like, it's all like where you came from, man. Like mentally, I didn't start like learning about myself only until like a couple of years ago. I was in a box my whole fucking life as far as like what I'm capable of, what I should start working on. So like I started from like I started like entry level as far as like where I was mentally, what I'm thinking I'm capable of. So I have like a lot more to go. But some people come in, they already have that, and then they find success a lot faster. Does that make sense?
Of course. Of course. Your road is what you're saying is your road was part of your success, not so much the product of your actions, but the path to that led you to your actions. So is what you're saying is learning what you know and how you learned what you know are two different things. How you learned what you know is in itself some sort of some sort of major achievement.
Yeah.
So what I'm talking about, Shant, is the stuff, and thank you for that. That really puts into perspective sort of what another variant of what it means to be sort of proud of yourself is not so much what you achieved, it's how you achieved it and how you learned what you know that caused you to achieve it. But more than that, stepping one step further, stepping into sort of quote unquote year 3 or year 5 of getting started, I'm figuratively speaking here, just giving an example, is looking back on a few years prior, being way past the point that you were, and sort of being in that mindset that you wanted to be at, a level, by a certain level by now, and you're not there yet, but you're way past where you were when you first started.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel? Do you think that you're in the spot now that you wanted to be at, or are you behind?
So a couple of things with that. One is my previous coach mentor would always say to me, because I'd always be like, shit, I'm not where I want to be. I'm not where I want to be. I'm not where I want to be. And it would just frustrate me. And he would draw this like thing, right? Where it's like, let me show you real quick. Mm-hmm. Can't write on that. So he would say, okay, I'm here. This is me. See that? So
Mhm.
if you're listening, you won't be able to see it. So I'm
It's a
here.
sticky note with the
Yeah.
stick figure. It's a notepad with a stick figure.
Yeah. And then I'm looking this way and I'm like, I'm not at my goal. This is the goal. And I'm like, shit, look at the space in between me and the goal. It's so far, right? But he would say is, yes, that's true, but look how far you've come and look what you've accomplished so far. Be happy of what you've done and your progress. Don't always just look forward. Be grateful for, what you've accomplished. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Can you repeat that quote from Elon Musk, the thing that we saw today? What did he say?
Yeah. So one of my friends posted this. Let me see. Someone asked Elon Musk. They said um, to Elon Musk, "What words of encouragement would you give an entrepreneur?" Right. So everyone listening to this might be an entrepreneur, business person, and Elon Musk's answer was, "If you need words of encouragement, don't become an entrepreneur."
It's so gangster. How true is what he's saying, Sean? How much do you agree? Be brutally honest. Do you actually fully agree, or do you think that like he's being a little bit too harsh with the advice?
So I think it's yes and no. I think he's 100% right, but I think he's 100% wrong in the sense where you do need some words of encouragement, possibly in the beginning, right? To like get it going. I think what he's talking about is getting words of encouragement throughout, like your year 3, year 4 in. It's like if you still need words of encouragement, it's like, dude, this, like at some point, it's like it's not about motivation. It's just like you just got to do what the hell you got to do, I think. Now, what about for you as far as what success looks like? I mean, I don't know if you thought at this point your YouTube would be this far. Did you think it'd be further? Did you expect other things? Like where, looking back 5 years ago, 3 years ago, do you see yourself as a success, a failure, a work? Obviously, we're not our end. We're not. I know we don't feel like we're fucking Elon Musk here, but just on your journey, your path, because that's what matters really. It's not about comparing yourself to someone else. Like, what is 3 years ago Adi think about today? Is he happy? Is he upset? Is he like, shit, man? What is 3 years ago Adi saying about today's Adi?
Well, I can tell you this much: the 3 years ago Adi is. I think the 3 years ago Adi would be pretty proud of where Adi is right now. I think that sometimes you process things in real time. You don't process things in hindsight. You don't process things in foresight. You have to sort of stop and pay attention to what the journal is telling you, or take a look at the chart and see exactly how much progress you're making. It's sort of like those apps that keep track of your weight. You enter it in every day and it shows you based off of, this much data. You plateaued and you're just going steady, or you're going down, or you're going up. You really, really got to look back and see exactly what progress you've made. However, when you look at things in real time, like I could tell myself, oh, I only have this and this much in the bank. Why don't I have more? But like 2 years ago, you had shit. Stop processing in real time and start comparing, you know, relative to where you were and where you hoped that you would be. But there's a certain level of greed that takes over me sometimes, in that where I am in the very, very moment is never truly good enough. And that is the very motivation that keeps me from stopping where I am or from getting lazy. So, in essence, it's a blessing and a curse to be so highly motivated that even the very win that you may have had that day is no longer good enough the next day. I don't mean to talk like Kobe Bryant right now. I'm talking as if, you did something last week. That's great. But that was fucking last week. Like you can't keep living. And that's why I get kind of upset when people talk about how great they once were many years ago. It's like, buddy, that was many years ago. Nobody gives a fuck.
That's why, man, one of the main reasons I kind of love real estate. I love real estate in the real estate sense, the a bunch of shit. You guys have probably listened to enough podcasts to know what I love about real estate. And if you follow me on Instagram, but the fact that you could have the best month, kill it, crush it, like make so much money in 1 month. And it's like, okay, now you're at zero. It's literally what
next month.
It's like, what have you done for me lately? Business. And it's like, you could have a great day at the restaurant, but no one could show up tomorrow.
Yeah. Guess what? Your boss is not going to give you any tip money because of how well you did yesterday. So thinking in real time, though, it will put that fire under your ass. Will it keep you in check and will it keep you motivated to go? Yes. But will it keep you constantly in this state of panic? Fuck yeah. Is that a good thing or a bad thing, though, Shant? Let's discuss a little bit about this state of constantly thinking that you're in some sort of emergency. What does that do? I know that you handle it a lot better than I do, but what does that feel like exactly? And what sort of thoughts go through your head every single day from being like this, if you are like this?
So there's a great quote, man, that Patrick Bet-David said the other day on his podcast. He said, talking about experience and person with money. I forget exactly how it goes, but he says, a man with experience meets a man with money. The man with experience leaves with the money. The man with the money leaves with experience. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's fucking golden. Like, it's just so golden, right? So what I'm saying by that is, in the beginning, I was always emergency fire, right? But now it's like, through some experience, and I don't have a ton of it, but I have a little bit enough now where I could slow down. I could be like, okay, it's not the end of the world. It's not an emergency. It's a little spark, but it's not a fire yet. But before, everything was a fire. So the experience kind of gets you to that point. And what a fucking quote, man. It's so true.
That is fantastic. I love that.
Have you heard that quote before?
No. The man with experience leaves with money, but the man with money leaves with experience.
Yeah.
Basically, the douchebag that comes to Vegas with the fat stack of 20s is going back with a story and the house.
Knows not to do it and knows not to do it again.
Yeah.
And the house takes all the money. So what about for you? Are you still in that emergency fire mode all the time? What have you done to kind of like slow that down a little bit? Do you feel like you're still like in that emergency mode?
Can I tell you something? And can I tell you something with the trust that you will use this information without making any sort of judgments on sort of what my emotion and what my thought process was like at that very moment. Don't think that I was in any way distressed by it. It was much of a learning curve for me and my father. There was a time during the restaurant's sort of busiest and least busiest where those two times came back to back of one another. So in like the reason why I say year 3. So in year 3, it starts to become very clear if you're in it for the long haul or not. In the restaurant business, I should say. And in year 3, we were very, very busy during our busy times, but during our dead times, we were fucking dead. So it sort of tests your it sort of tests your patience and your trust in that things will actually work out, because a lot of the times they don't. And it's scary, especially for a lot of people, probably during the pandemic, people that have been in business for a very, very long time, they didn't come out of it. And these people have been through what I'm talking about right now. So, for anybody that's listening that has seen some decent success in their very early years of learning and developing their craft, you will hit a failure. You will hit a burnout. I'm positive of it.
Yeah, you've hit burnouts. You've definitely hit burnouts.
And I've gotten better. Like, put it this way, I was so turned off from wanting to make a video on YouTube. I went 3 weeks without even wanting to see my camera. But
And
I've
that
made
before you would never do that.
no. And for the last 47 days now, I haven't missed a day. I've posted a video every day for the last 47. So I guarantee you, you will fail. You will fail, but it's not the type of fail that will set you back years. It's the type of fail that will really, really reinforce, it'll really repair a broken bone that will lead you through and carry you through for the rest of your life. That's what I really, really wanted to get across, is in relative terms, how much are you succeeding, and is your real-time success congruent with your overall success? Are you feeling exactly how much success you've already achieved, or are you operating in fucking real time in the sense that, yeah, I went to work today. It was miserable. It was slow. This is how my life is going now. Maybe I should just fucking quit.
Yeah. Do you know why it's so hard for us real estate agents? So it's different kind of for you, right? How many like similar kind of restaurants do you have that's your competition?
A lot.
Like what's a
Not
lot?
near me, because they all failed and went out of business, which is a very, very scary thing for somebody like me. But there's quite a few in Massachusetts. Near me, not so much.
Okay. So why it's so much harder for real estate agents is in my market, there's like 30, 40,000 realtors, right? And they're my direct competition. And I get to see them on social media every day. And I get to see them selling a house, selling a house, selling a house. This one sold 2 today. This one sold 3. This one sold 10. And you're like, you could really feel like shit really fast because it's all around you. And then it's in your office. This person sold this many houses. And you're just like, shit, man. Like you'll always feel like a failure, right? That's why I brought up, you have restaurants near you. You don't get to see that like top winner every week of who did every month, this person, this. So in real estate, it becomes very tough, man. It's a very tough sport in that sense, because you're shown that shit every day and you feel like a failure. You really, really do. So that's one of the hardest things to get over, man. And because you see some people doing some crazy numbers. Do you get to like really know what another restaurant really makes?
No. You only see their reviews, how they're doing on Yelp and how many reviews they got and stuff like that, but you rarely see their numbers, you rarely see anything like that. I can't imagine being in the real estate industry
Yeah,
or say like
I could literally pull up everyone's numbers and see how they're doing. And you're just like, fuck, this guy's crushing it. Like, what is he doing? And it's crazy. It's crazy. And that's why I'm trying to get to a point where I just worry, and I've gotten better at it. I've gotten actually pretty good at it, of just worried about my lane, my street, this little office. That's it. Just me and what I have to do. And in my journal, what I have to get done, not about what everyone else, because everyone else, man, they're going to be crushing it. So
Let's talk
it's very
about
difficult.
everyone else. Let's talk about everyone else in the next episode. Let's talk about exactly what everybody else will do to you and your image of you, your vision of who you are, because this whole highlight reel, it's become a very, very hard thing to digest, that people create a facade of themselves online to draw in business, but also their competition thinks of them like, oh, I gotta be like them. These people are having a hard time being them already because of the
Yeah.
image that they're trying to create online. And we got them to try and compare to. It's not even, we're not even comparing ourselves to the correct person.
Yeah. Speaking about, so in my book, I circled this. This was a very, so I'm reading the Millionaire Next Door, and it's really kind of really similar to what we're talking about, worrying about what other people are doing financially.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of talks a little bit in line of what we've been kind of discussing, worrying about other people. It says allocating time and money in the pursuit of looking superior often has a predictable outcome: inferior economic achievement. So basically, even in success in business, if you're trying to pretend like you're being successful to show other people, to prove a point, you're going to always end up. Dude, you get so much. This book was how much? What's it, $20 book? It's $1 million like idea right there, man. I love it.
It's good stuff. Success should not be measured in real time. You guys, don't look at yourself as a stock. Or if you are, look at the stock on like a 5 year, not a, last hour dog coin, whatever the fuck that thing is.
Dog. Yeah, who knows? It's difficult, man. And no one talks about this shit. And it's a very, especially in real estate, it's a very lonely game. There's gonna be someone, because I think your friend Dimmy, who was on last week, and you guys should definitely check that one out. I think he's gonna crush it right away. I think the kid's gonna fucking crush it. He's got the triple threat, man. He's got the looks, he's got the talk, and he's got the network, bro. Like he's the triple threat. And what's gonna happen is he's gonna crush it really fast. And there's gonna be people in his office like, what the fuck? How does he do it? And it's everyone starts somewhere different, man.
You're 100% right. I can't wait to fucking see that, man. That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sitting here like, fuck, man, this guy.
But like, he has nothing, not you, but he has like nothing to do with you. You know what I mean? Like everybody,
Yeah.
what if he has like $1 million of shit that he has to pay for every year? And like real estate's like chump change for him. Like, dude, I gotta fucking cover this and that and the other thing. It's like, dude, the only thing that you got is a fucking Xbox subscription to worry about. You know?
Yeah.
But
do you still play Xbox?
No, I haven't played in maybe a year now.
Wow.
I gave up on Xbox when Sacco got better at FIFA. He's really
getting
good.
into Xbox now.
What do you guys play?
She got this one game. I don't remember what it's called. She's been playing. We kind of play. We take turns. Like she'll play. She'll try to get to a certain. It's like a 1-person game. She'll get to a certain point. She can't beat it. I'll try. I can't beat it. So we just play like that.
What game is this? I don't understand.
No, man. I'd have to look it up. No, I can't.
You guys playing Barbie?
I can't. No, it's like Barracuda, some shit. It's like a cartoonish kind of game.
I know which one you're talking about. Is that the one that you used to have on like Sega Genesis?
I don't think so. Barracuda. I don't know. I'll get it for you next week.
Well, it's been a fantastic episode. I really, you need that reminder sometime. I'm happy. These are the episodes that get me fired up the most because they're little reminders, little chips, little tokens that you can deposit to remind yourself that you got these waves on the personal stock that you can't really. You got to look at the long term rate of return
Yeah.
on Audi coin.
Yeah. Let us know, man. Like, really would like if you guys would, send us a message, do a comment wherever if you're listening, watching on YouTube, drop a comment. If you're listening on Spotify, iTunes, shoot us a message on Instagram, on our personal accounts. I kind of want to hear, man, like what is something you're struggling with that we could discuss? Maybe we're struggling with it too. Just would love to hear from everyone, man. That's it. I still see people watching, listening. So I want to hear from the people.
We'd appreciate any feedback. Good night, Shant.
Good night, everyone.